I have been making 10,000 gold per week for the last few weeks in Classic Burning Crusade, while barely using the auction house and mostly just generating gold myself. And the best part about this is not even the most I could do. You can do this yourself too for 10, 20 or even 30k gold per week if you want. The secret? I think some of you might have guessed it by now. Dailies. Since the last phase of Classic TBC released about a month ago, it also introduced the Isle of Keldanas along with all the dailies in it. But doing all the dailies on the Isle of Keldanas is not nearly enough to get those results. Thankfully, the game allows you to do a whopping 25 dailies per day per character. And with Shatari Skyguard, Ogrilla and Netherwing, there's more than enough dailies in the game to make you some insane gold. And today, I'm gonna teach you all about that so you can do it too. So without further ado, let's get into it. Alright, to start off, as I said in the intro, there's more than enough dailies in the game now to reach the 25 daily quest limit imposed by the game. So the question is, which ones should you choose to maximize profit? To answer this, I made a list of all the dailies in the game, along with how much gold they reward you with. And long story short, this is the list of dailies that you should be doing. Don't worry, I'll go through all of this throughout this video, so you know where to pick these. The thing is, this list that I chose doesn't just involve doing the 25 dailies that reward the most gold. If you did that, there's some dailies that take way too long or are way too far away to make them worth your time. So I not only prioritized gold, but I also made sure to have an efficient route. If you follow this route, you'll be doing all of these in just under 2 hours per character. As I said, you can do this on as many or as few characters as you want. I was going with 3 characters, which was netting me about 1400 gold per day for about 6 hours of questing per day. But you could do this for 8, 10 or 12 plus hours by adding more characters if you have more to spare. Or on the other hand, if you don't want to spend that much time or are content with just doing it on your main for just 2 hours of your time, you can do that too. The sky is the limit here. To do this efficiently and with the times I'm mentioning, you do need a fast flying skill and a mount. It's a big investment of course, but you'll be making that back in just 12 days of doing this. And having a fast flying mount isn't just for saving time, but it's also necessary to do the Netherwing dailies. You simply can't unlock them without having the skill learned. Some other very useful things to have is a riding crop to fly 10% faster, as big of bags as you possibly can get, and of course as many teleportation items around Outland as you can have. The Blessed Medallion of Karabor is very useful here, and if you're an engineer, you can also get a Toshli Station or Area 52 teleporter to move around even faster. But if you don't have any of that, there is the Ghetto Hearthing method, so you can teleport to your Hearthstone location even if it's on cooldown. Alright, let's now get to the most important part, the route. To start off, you'll be starting in Shatrat and picking up all the dailies there. There's 3 of them and they take place around Outland, but we'll get to them in a moment. For now, you'll want to take the portal to the Isle of Keldanas and pick all the dailies from there. Depending on your server's progression on the island, you'll be able to do up to 10 dailies from here. But if your server hasn't unlocked all 10 of them, don't fret. You can always do more dailies elsewhere that we will be skipping. I'll also mention the ones worth doing the most once we get there. But anyways, once you picked all the dailies on the isle, just go around and do all of them. I like to start with the bombing daily and then go from west to east following this order that you can see on screen. Doing all the quests here should only take about 30 minutes at most. And remember to always group up with others as much as possible for the quests that only involve killing enemies, which is the vast majority of them. Once you're done with this, you'll have received a consumable teleportation scroll that allows you to go from the Isle of Keldanas to Shatrat. Use it, and next it's time to head outside Shatrat to do the Razor Thorn daily, aka the Ravager Digging daily. This is quite straightforward and shouldn't take too long, but once you're done with this, it's time to head straight to Blade's Edge Mountain to do some of the Ogrilla dailies and a Keldanas daily that takes place here. That's where having engineering and a teleportation device can save you a lot of time here, but if you don't have one, it's fine, it's just about a 5-minute flight. As I said, we're starting with Ogrilla. There's 4 quests to do here, but we're only doing 3 of them. And of course, the one we're skipping is the infamous Relics Emanation daily, aka the Simon Says game. This one is just too long and too easy to mess up and waste a lot of time on. Even if you have some dailies to spare, I don't recommend doing this one at all. Otherwise, the other 3 should be quick and easy and net you a worthy amount of gold for the time spent. Next, let's head north to Bashir Landing to do another Keldanas daily. For this one, you want to get a phasing device and go to the phase realm and and pick 10 mana cell boxes. They're easy to miss, so keep an eye out on them, and make sure to not have them stolen by other players from you by pulling a mob here. It happened to me way too many times. After you got 10 mana cells, it's now time to go to Netherstorm and do another Kel'Danas daily there. This one involves killing a bunch of Sun Fury Blood Elves and loot a plant from them. This item is not very rare, but on my most unlucky days, I did spend up to 10 minutes here trying to get these plants. It's frustrating when you get unlucky, but keep in mind that on average you should get this quite fast, so this daily is definitely worth doing. After this, you'll want to head to Hellfire Peninsula to do a couple dailies there. Those are on the Throne of Kil'jaeden, and you pick them from Magistrix Sayla. And they require you to 1. Summon a companion fireball and charge it with fire 8 times by killing fire elementals near it. It actually does get charged from other players' elementals, so that's pretty neat. But remember to never ever go on your flying mount when you're doing this daily, because if you do that, the companion will disappear along with all of its charges. The second daily on the Throne of Kil'jaeden is simpler, and it involves killing 4 Wrath Heralds, getting 4 demonic blood from them, and then using the Fel Siphon provided by the quest to weaken 4 of those elite blood elves, and then simply killing them. Quite easy and straightforward quest. We're now over halfway done, and if you're fast, you should have spent a bit over 1 hour already. Now, for the last part, you want to head to Netherwing. That's where having a Blessed Medallion of Karabor gets really handy, because you can teleport right near the Black Temple and get started right away. But before heading to the Netherwing Island itself, we're gonna do 2 dailies here near the Black Temple. The first one is a Kel'Danas one, which requires you to loot 5 Atamal armaments from those Shadow Moon mobs up here. After getting 5, you'll want to break them on the Isle of Kel'Danas itself, but we'll get to that later. The second daily is the only group daily quest in the game. You pick it from the Altar of Shatar if you're Aldor, or from the Sanctum of Stars if you're Scryers. This daily is marked as a group quest, but it's actually pretty easy to solo, because you can die as many times as you want while doing it. The only condition for failure is if the main NPC dies, but he has a lot of HP, and that shouldn't happen before you killed enough orcs to complete this quest. Anyways, after you're done with this, it's finally time to go to the Netherwing Island. This is the last stretch. We're not doing all the dailies here, although they are very much all worth doing. But as you know, the game only allows you to do 25 dailies per day. So we'll be picking Disrupting the Twilight Portal, the Boomerang daily, Dragons are the least of our problems, and Picking up the Pieces. As I said earlier, if your server hasn't unlocked the entirety of the Isle of Kel'Danas, you can complement your list of 25 dailies by doing some dailies that we skipped. And those ones we skipped here are the ones I recommend you do. Here's the quest I recommend you do by order of priority to complete your list. But anyways, here in Netherwing, we'll be kicking the butts of 20 lazy peons, killing 5 Ravagers and 15 Flayers, and looting 15 Nethermine cargo. But once you're done with that, if you followed my instructions up until now, your Hearthstone should still be off cooldown. Now is the time to use it and go to Shatrat and then fly straight to Nagrand. Here, you'll be heading to the Oshugun Crystal in the middle and equipping the goggles you have in your bags to do a Kel'Danas daily. After that, you'll be heading west to the Twilight Ridge to kill 20 mobs there. Once you're done with killing those 20 mobs, use your Black Temple necklace one last time, turn in the last Netherwing daily on the island, and then you can either fly to Shatrat straight away, or even better, get a heart from the Black Temple if you can get someone to invite you to form a raid with them. From Shatrat, turn in the 3 dailies you've completed here, and then take the portal to Kel'Danas. Turn in the Razorthorn daily to Marna, and then go to the blacksmith near the armory, break the 5 Atamal armaments you looted from the mobs in Shadowmoon, and then turn in this last quest. And this was the last quest, but it's not yet over. If you followed my route and my tips, this should have taken you just under 2 hours depending on your luck and which items you have to teleport around. But having a look at your bags, you should notice a bunch of items, like mostly Netherweave Cloth, Marks of Sargeras, Motes of Fire or Mana, and most importantly, green pieces of gear that you'll definitely want to disenchant. But for now, simply drop what you have on the auction house if you decide you're done, or mail it to a bank alt and go straight to another one of your characters to do this again for another 2 hours. As for the gold you made, as I said at the start, you should expect to make around 400 gold per character doing this. The dailies themselves should only net you about 300-ish gold, but you'll also get a ton of great items to vendor and the items I mentioned a second ago. But also, a big chunk of the gold you can make comes from the green main pieces of gear you got. If you got an enchanter character that's 300 or more, send it to him or her and get those disenchanted. If not, get someone in your guild or in trade chat to do it for you in exchange for some gold. Enchanting mats are worth a lot of gold lately. And that's pretty much everything I have for you today. As I said, you can do this on as many characters as you want for as long as you want. The sky's the limit. I've even seen people multi-box this. I haven't experienced it myself because I only have one account, but that's something for you to try if you want and want to make even more gold in less time. The amount of gold you get from this is insane, and I'll definitely be doing this for a few more weeks ahead of Wrath of the Lich King. With that, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, remember to give it a like and subscribe to the Classic WoW Curios channel for more content like this. My name is Numidia, and I will see you guys in the next one very soon. Bye for now.